So Tesla stock today had a chaotic day where there was a lot of positive news, a lot of negative news, and then, wait for it, a lot more negative news. And it was, in fact, what I would call a clown show, which, by the way, I hate clowns just as much as the next guy, but what I sure hate is a circus, and that's pretty much what we got in terms of the price action for Tesla stock. And this is because today we got the news that Tesla sales plunged to the ground with the biggest decline in history. And so we recently had the delivery numbers come out, and we ended up seeing Q1 deliveries at a total of 336,681 deliveries, which is 13% year over year down, and also well below Wall Street's estimates of 377,000.
This is bad.
And so today we had Tesla stock pretty much open up, just collapsing to the floor, but we ended up seeing something pretty interesting happening where Tesla stock just kind of bounced off and just started soaring to the sky for today. And that was based off of this article that we got today from Politico, mentioning that President Trump has told his inner circle that Elon Musk is going to be stepping down from his advisory role in the coming weeks. In fact, the full article goes on to say that the president remains pleased with Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency initiatives, but both men have decided in recent days that it will soon be time for Musk to return to his businesses and take on a supporting role, which was kind of according to 3 Trump insiders who remain anonymous. And so when that news came out, despite Tesla having such bad fundamental numbers, which we'll kind of delve into a bit later, there's a big debate on why they had those numbers, but we ended up seeing this huge shot upwards because of the idea that we're finally gonna have Elon Musk focus back on his businesses, where it seems like in the last few months, there hasn't been really any interest in Tesla at all, aside from just defending it from the vandalism, which, by the way, I definitely agree that you're pretty much imbecilic to go ahead and just start blowing up, Teslas, right? Don't do that, right? That's everyone knows that's bad, but what I'm trying to say is that the role that Elon Musk has had with Tesla recently just looks like he's just someone that's trying to defend Tesla, saying, hey, don't blow them up, but not really focus on the actual business and really all his companies altogether. Aside from, maybe securing some contracts for them and, a few other benefits, right, of being like the first buddy. But we ended up seeing, this huge upwards movement in the terms of the price action for Tesla for this positive news that we're going to have Elon Musk return back and kind of step away from this advisory role. Now, for anyone who hasn't been following along, we have the snippet from Wall Street Journal talking about Elon's role in the Trump administration, where there was support for Trump and the far-right parties in Europe, which has pretty much made Tesla a target of political protests and boycotts in recent months for a lot of different countries, including the ones who are super loyal to Tesla. Now, in this video, I don't want to go ahead and delve into all the reasons why people have kind of felt like this bad sentiment, this bad taste for Tesla and Elon, right? I've done that in other videos pretty extensively, right? It would be kind of redundant to talk about it again, but the point is, Elon Musk's brand, his reputation has been tarnished, and I don't mean that, me personally feeling like that, but what I mean is that he's lost a lot of his popularity, right? This was someone who just maybe 6 months ago, people thought was an absolute genius, and now we start to see that like half of the people who once viewed Elon Musk in a certain light are now kind of viewing him as like some evil supervillain, right? And I know it's bad when I'm seeing memes all over the internet of people posting photos of Elon Musk looking like this and saying things like how he looks like a Play-Doh figure who was just, smashed by a toddler grabbing him, right? I mean, people don't make those personal attacks unless they absolutely hate you. Again, that was just a funny thing I saw online, but what I'm really trying to say is that, he's spent a lot of time building up this goodwill, this good reputation, and ever since we've gotten this political support for these far-right, groups in Europe, as well as for the Trump administration, a lot of people for many different reasons have kind of turned against Elon, which has been horrible, right? We've seen these boycotts, we've seen people burn down charging stations, blow up, several different dealerships across the world. This isn't just in the United States, this is globally, Germany, France, etc., where it's been pretty freaking bad. However, after this huge kind of roller coaster movement where we see Tesla stock falling down because of the bad fundamentals, Tesla stock going up again because of this idea that Elon Musk is returning back to business, we end up getting something pretty interesting towards the end where Elon Musk says that this article is fake news and kind of just reposting what Caroline Levitt mentioned about how Elon himself is going to be staying working at Doge until the work is complete. And so, in a sense, we're now starting to see this backpedaling, right? Elon saying, well, that was fake news. I'm not actually leaving from Doge. I'm staying here until the job is complete. And so when you tie that in, right, with Tesla stock soaring up because of the idea of Elon leaving, we end up hearing him saying, well, no, I'm actually going to stay. And then you add in, the macroeconomic, factors such as, Liberation Day, all the tariffs that came out, right, the reciprocal tariffs. Well, that's kind of why we ended up seeing Tesla stock plummet back down. Again, a huge circus of a clown show here where it's just an insane roller coaster. And of course, Elon Musk backing down just means that Tesla's shareholders, right, the people who are holding it despite everything going on, are back to suffering. Now, real quick, if you're wanting to learn how to analyze a company like a pro, then make sure to check out the Financial Modeling and Valuation Analyst Certificate that's offered by the Corporate Finance Institute, as it can literally take you from having no clue in what to do in Excel to becoming an expert at financial modeling, since it's going to go through building financial models from scratch, valuing companies and analyzing financial statements all through a super structured format. Plus, having the FMVA certificate on your resume is going to help you stand out, especially if you're trying to break into a career in finance, as a lot of professionals at firms like Deloitte, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs have all taken CFI courses. But of course, if you're not trying to break into finance, the knowledge alone is really good if you're just trying to be an independent investor. But with that said, if you're interested, make sure to check out one of the links down below to gain access to all the certificates that you can earn with the Corporate Finance Institute.
That's smart investment.
But now, going back to the fundamentals, I would hate to kind of mention all this without talking about the two different sides, right? You have a coin, and a coin always has two sides, and the two sides of why Tesla stock is falling down, or rather why your delivery numbers are falling down, kind of has one side saying, well, this is because they had to kind of slow down several different factories for the refresh of the Model Y, right? That's one side of the aisle. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people saying, well, no, this is clearly not solely just because of the refresh Model Y and Silo, but because of so much of the hate that Elon Musk and Tesla has been getting. And so that's the reason why, deliveries are falling down. Again, I personally believe it's a mixture of both. I think, you would have to kind of be blind to not understand that, of course, the refresh of the Model Y is why we likely saw, deliveries fall down. But one thing we have to understand is that we already, analysts already expected that delivery numbers were going to fall down because of the Model Y refresh. However, we fell down significantly more than what was anticipated, and I believe that ended up being because of all the global boycotts and all the, hate that we recently got towards Elon Musk himself and the Tesla brand. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts, right? We have one end of the spectrum saying, hey, look, going forward, this is going to be a huge plus for Tesla. This is the time to buy. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have someone saying, well, this is definitely the time to start shorting Tesla. Now, me personally, right, I currently don't have a position in Tesla anymore. I've held Tesla shares before, it's in 2018, held them through. Currently, no longer holding shares in Tesla, as, I just don't really want to hold capital in something that over the last few years hasn't done much of any return. That's like someone saying Cathie Wood is the best, fund manager, when in the last few years you could have just had your money in the S&P 500 and done better than having your money with Cathie Wood. It's kind of the same concept with Tesla, right? I have spotted several different opportunities both in 2024 and also now in 2025 that I find much lucrative than where if I were to just stay in Tesla, which is why I'm no longer, personally in Tesla. But again, these videos are simply for educational purposes only. You should never trade or invest in whatever I say or whatever anyone says online. You should only trade and invest in whatever you see value in. But for those interested in knowing what my thoughts are on the market, make sure to check out one of the links in the description below, because one of the links is going to be a link to join my Push Your Profit private group, where every single day I break down what's going on in the markets and in the economy and where I see areas of opportunity and what I'm likely to do with my portfolio. But with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick video, and I'll see you guys on this next video right over here. Take care, guys.